And then we'll open it up for questions for the student athletes.
Well, I mean, just, I'd like to commend Missouri State for what they did during the regular season and what a really good team they are and their seniors. I mean, I'm not, obviously we're not going to trade this win, but I have a lot of respect for what they've done with the program and how their kids compete and the job that Nyland and her staff have done. I think it was, we obviously lost them twice during the regular season, and we're fortunate today. I thought for us rebounding was a key. Even though we got out rebounded by 3, they got a few at the end. I thought that was a key. I mean, we've been the last really couple of years we've kind of gotten dominated on the glass by those guys, and every time out I just said we have to rebound and that and just our resiliency after the bad start. Obviously, getting down 12-2 in a conference tournament game isn't what you want. But I thought our heads stayed up and we understood it was a 40-minute game, and these two were very good. I mean, our spacing was much better in the second half. We talked about how we had to space the floor better because they're such a pressure team, and we ran our offense too close to the 3-point line in the first half, and too many turnovers and just not enough stuff going to the basket. And I think doing that certainly opened up the game a lot in the second half. We scored the ball significantly better. So that's it.
Thank you, Coach. Questions for the student athletes?
Carli, obviously your first 3 halves here at Star were not what you wanted. Was it something at halftime, or was it just something that started? I mean, you just got that first shot and it felt good in the second half and went on.
Yeah, at halftime we really didn't talk much about offense because we knew that rebounding and defense were going to win the game. But we knew that if we moved the ball well, like you said, stay spread out, cut high, that other things were going to open up. And my cut can get someone else wide open 3 and vice versa, and that's kind of what was happening. I was getting a few back screens and for backdoor layups, and Sarah was actually the one passing to me a few times, and so other teammates were getting me open, and that's what we talked about, is just be unselfish in screening and be unselfish in cutting, and other people are going to get open. And unfortunately, I was the one that was open a few times, and once you hit those few 3 or 4 shots in a row, you got a good feeling, and then you just kind of keep going, and then basket looks a little bigger sometimes.
That 3-pointer you hit, you guys up 7 and then 8 with a free throw with about 2 minutes left, seemed to be probably the play that really clinched for you guys. Can you talk me through that play and with the shot clock right there? What you're thinking there?
I don't know if I was supposed to do that, but the shot clock was running down, and usually late shot clock we like to get into ball screen if nothing else is there. And with me and Sarah, and instead we spread the floor and went 5 out for me to drive it or just to do whatever, jump shot or something one-on-one. I had made it 3 previously before in the half, and so I thought maybe I could, but I kind of just shot it. There wasn't really anything going through my mind. I was like, oh crap, there's only like 1 second left, and there it went. And then the foul just kind of that was probably the clinching shot, I think, towards the end of the game.
Sarah, that was one of the more physical games I've seen in a very long time. The referees seem to enjoy watching it go back and forth. No comment to the referees. They didn't want to play. How physical was it, and how much did you enjoy being down at, pounding it out?
I actually like games like that sometimes. It just takes, in the first half, I know that I think both teams had to do a little adjusting to the calls. Like, you're going to have games like that where you aren't going to get calls. There are games where they call everything. So I think it just took a lot of adjusting, and then I like physical games because I think that gives a chance, step up and maybe a little bump at the end that they normally would call, they aren't going to call. And so it's always nice, down in there knowing that maybe you can get away with a little bit more. So, but it was definitely physical. I think Carli would agree with that. But, you just got to get in the mindset. And I know at halftime, Clan told us, he was like, you guys, they aren't calling you. You got to be tough. And he really focused in on rebounding and making sure that we, even though we're undersized in a lot of spots, that we really just got in there and made sure that we out-physicaled them in the end. I don't know. Good thing I'm not majoring in English.
Sarah, that's a pretty solid offensive team, but you guys held to 47 points and 30% shooting. What was the key to your team defense that enabled you to, even when they were driving, to kind of contain what they were trying to do?
We definitely, I know in our mindset, we're a really good team when it comes to like first shot defense. Like we knew like in our past couple games that we did a really good job stopping that first shot, but it was them crashing to the glass and getting those second shots that either got them points or free throws off of that. And so we knew that we had to do as good of a job as we could containing them at the beginning, and then just everybody get a body on someone and box out and make sure, because against a team like that, they have, I know, Shorter, Garrison, even Buer, like Malone, like all their even their undersized guards crash hard and will get those offensive rebounds. And so we knew every single person on the floor had to get a body on someone. It had to be an all-5 effort, not just like a couple people going to the glass.
So you gave up the rebounds, but were able to contain the offense regardless. Do you think that's fair? Or?
I would say so. I mean, I think that we definitely, I know that they didn't shoot very well, but I know that we, even when we were like beat on something, we would try to get a hand up there or just make it that shot that much tougher, because sometimes that's all it takes is getting a hand in the face, or, you know, like even chasing someone can put a little bit more pressure on them to make the shot. So I know we worked a lot. Flan had a really great scout for them, and we watched film and we knew what we had to do. So.
Carli, the first, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes when you guys fell behind a lot, nothing was falling. Yes, it's the first 10 minutes of the first half, but it had to be going through your mind that you've already lost to these guys twice, and it just wasn't going to be your day.
I don't know. I mean, the fact that we lost them twice, obviously everyone knows that and has thinking about it. But I don't think that we ever, in any game this season, are ever like, wow, this is not going to be our day that early in the game. I mean, if we're down 10 with 2 or 3 minutes left, you're thinking about it. But I mean, that early in the game, we come back from great, deeper deficits than that, and we played a great non-conference schedule. I mean, he puts us against the toughest teams in the nation, Notre Dame, NC State, and all those teams, and we fought through every single game. There's been, Notre Dame's probably the only game that we weren't into in the last 2 or 3 possessions, and that says something to our staff and to our team, too, that we really do not ever give up, and we know that we've came back from the deficits before, and that's why it's nothing's literally impossible, and we know that, so we're not going to give up.